All right, we want to thank all of you for being part of our home opener today with the Scotiabank Saddledome and Sea of Red. Calgary Flames return home to Scotiabank Saddledome Tuesday, October 18th, when we take on the Vegas Golden Knights. Game time is back to 7 o'clock. Head to CalgaryFlames.com for all your ticket information.
Got it?
On behalf of all of us, I'm the Calgary Flames. My name is Beasley, saying so long and good night. Enjoy your weekend. Right now, Brandon Parker and Ryan Dittrick are standing by with tonight's Flames TV post-game show live.
And welcome inside Flames TV post-game live, and we are on the air for the first game of the season, the home opener, and it is a victorious one for the Calgary Flames. Their first victory in a season opener in 12 years, and off and running is this season. As we welcome in Ryan Dittrick here on the post-game show, and new faces, new opportunities here tonight, and I would say a pretty good result, all things considered.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, number one, you come in and knock off the Stanley Cup champions in night one of the season, so obviously that's a bit of a feather in your cap, but you said it there. I think both of us just sort of mesmerized at times with some of the new guys, 52-10 out there, just doing some pretty incredible things with the puck. And yeah. I know we're going to talk more about that as the show goes on here, but you go through the highlights, it seemed that at every step of the way they had a finger on the pulse and a little bit of an impact in the offense, but also the defense as well. So all across the table, really impressive performance.
Well, let's take a look through the highlights if we can here. We'll expecting to see some guests here on the post-game show as we normally do. We'll hear from head coach Daryl Sutter, but also going to anticipate seeing a player join us right here on the desk as well. And let's start it off in the first period. It was a goal by Bowen Byram that gets things started. He's his first goal of the season, and it is kind of a loose puck in front, but ends up finding it, beats Jacob Markstrom.
Yeah, tough way to start there, but Bo Byram, big body, he kind of stays with the puck there, and you'd prefer to see someone take the body, but, again, that's a good player making a good play, staying with the puck when it looked like all was lost there for a moment.
Well, before the end of that first period, nice little play down low. It is Milan Lucic setting up Brett Ritchie. He's got his first, and it was 1-1 after that.
Yeah, great feed from Lucic, but again, this is Mackenzie Weegar and sort of a sign of the things that we're going to see over the next 9 years. Coast to coast, creates a chance there in front, sets up the pass for Lucic.
So to the second period, and it's a shorthanded situation here. Dylan Dubé comes off the ball and then ends up keeping, shooting, and scoring, and makes it 2-1. And guys, maybe we'll get back to the highlights in a second as we get Tyler Toffoli joining us on the desk here as Flames postgame live, and we'll welcome in Tyler. First of all, first game of the season, obviously you want to get off to a good start, as always is the approach. What did you make of night number one here for your group?
We wanted to come out and have a good start, obviously. Them playing last night too, we wanted to jump all over them, and thought we did a really good job. And although they scored the first goal, we stuck with it and kind of rallied off some goals there.
Yeah, we've talked so much about chemistry throughout training camp, and obviously some new line mates for you, and a lot of anticipation seeing what Jonathan Huberdeau will be able to do in his debut. What was it like with him out there in regular season action?
Yeah, I'm sure all the fans would have liked if I put that in the first shift there, but no, it was good. I thought we had some good opportunities, and I think a little bit in the second and third we tried to get a little too fancy, and turn it over a little bit, and I think that's something that we're going to be able to work on and just keep getting better.
Well, and nice, I would assume, just to, we've talked about power play, and to be able to go 2 consecutive ones. I know a little pain for an extra gain there in terms of the power play. You've had actually some flying objects early on this season around your face, but take them if you get the goals, I guess. Eh?
Yeah, no, I thought we moved it well the first opportunity we got in the first, and eventually it was going to come. I thought, even in the preseason we had some good looks too, so it was nice to see a couple go in there for us.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously no concern when, your power play maybe at times wasn't looking as sharp as you wanted it to be in the preseason, but you guys clearly, over the past few days of practice, were spending a lot of time on this. Just a matter of time for you guys? Is that the mindset?
Yeah, I think the power play and penalty kill are 2 things that win you games, and I think we are a team that is going to take a lot of pride in both, and tonight was the first step.
Well, last one for you, and that's just to be able to, obviously you saw a push. You kind of knew you were going to get that near the end of this game, but to be able to finish it off the way you did and hold them off, get the victory the way you did.
Yeah, their big boys started playing really well and got their legs under them and had some really good opportunities. And Markey stood tall and made some big saves. And like I said, our penalty kill had some good kills there, and we pulled off the win.
Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate
it, Tyler.
Tyler Toffoli joining us here live on the desk. Flames post-game live, and we'll jump back into the highlights here as well. We had it there at 2-1, I think, Dylan Dubé, but we'll also shortly hear from Daryl Sutter as well coming up in moments as he makes his way to the post-game press conference. Maybe let's jump back in if we can. Jump back to the highlights. I think at one point, 2-1, Dylan Dubé had the go-ahead goal there in that second period, and it was a beautiful finish. But let's continue on from there, and that's more in that second period. This one was a shorthanded situation that leads to a breakaway, and Rasmus Andersson telling us they had a little conversation in the penalty box, but makes good on a beautiful finish there in tight. Yeah,
you said there you got a little bit of co-counsel on that play. That's good, because over the past few days we saw a little bit of shootout practice. I don't remember seeing that move in Rasmus Andersson's toolkit, but sure worked in game action there.
Yeah, beautiful job there by Rasmus. It's his first, and then Tyler Toffoli, as we talked about on the power play, the high stick from Cale Makar, but is able to finish off the high before the high stick catches him, and really nice redirect on the Nazem Kadri pass. Yeah, and as we talked with Tyler there moments ago, a lot of focus on Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, but good to see Nazem Kadri get his fingers on the offense here tonight as well. So, and it would continue on from there as that power play that comes from the high stick leads to this goal and a finish here by Elias Lindholm, and a nice little setup by Jonathan Huberdeau. This is just ridiculous. I think you and I were sort of marveling at the fact that, you have the physical skills to even execute a pass straight across in tight in your body like that, but the fact that he does it in a no-look fashion, just truly impressive. But the push, as we talked about with Toffoli, and they saw it from Nathan MacKinnon here streaking in, and this would make it a 5-2 game at this point, and nice stretch there, finished off nicely and tight, and Nathan MacKinnon's got his first of the season, second point of the game. Yeah, and you're going to see a ton of that from the Colorado Avalanche. They don't need much to create offense, and last year, explosive third period team, Nathan MacKinnon, he only needs an inch, and that's what we saw here. Power play late for Colorado, and Mikko Rantanen, who's on a nice little stretch here, helping out his teammates, his 5th assist of the season, but Valeri Nichushkin gets his 3rd goal. But that is as close as Colorado would come. It's a couple of pretty good looks, a couple of good opportunities. But again, as Tyler mentioned, the PK comes up big as this game wears on. Sure, and even in that third period when you give up a couple, you can't panic in situations like that when a skilled team goes out and does what they do. I mean, Valeri Nichushkin is what is he, 6'4", 210. I mean, that's a guy who drives the net hard. You're in position to make a good play, but that's a skilled player getting a perfect feed from Mikko Rantanen. Sometimes the breaks just sort of go against you that way. We'll hear from head coach Daryl Sutter in just a moment, but first, I think the puck was picked up at the end of the game by Milan Lucic, but it is win number 700 in his regular season coaching career, moves him into top 10 in National Hockey League history. We'll see if maybe that's one of the questions posed to the head coach of the Calgary Flames, Daryl Sutter. Let's listen in now.
Goal was coming out of the box after a kill, so that was the difference. Second period, and I think third period, they turned it up. They're champions for a reason. Game like that against Colorado. Well, it's important not to take bad penalties, and we took 2 or 3 that eventually one cost you, right?
It looked like Mackenzie was seeing the ice very well and was really comfortable moving the puck. What did you see of his debut tonight?
What's your question?
Just what did you see of Mackenzie's game tonight?
Thought he was good when he had the puck, and he's got lots to do in terms of fitting in terms of how we check.
What did you think of the work of your with Kadri, Mangiapane, and Dubé?
I thought they had big effort every shift. When they were together, we were able to get our lines in sync and order a little bit when there wasn't penalties. I thought they were clearly our best line.
What you mentioned the sort of fluky one early. What was your assessment of Jake Markstrom on the whole?
I thought he was really solid. I think made some big saves for us.
What did you make of Rasmussen's breakaway?
It's a defenseman scoring on a breakaway. You don't see it very often.
Dylan Dubé look more confident to you this season, Daryl?
You know, Dylan's put a little weight or muscle on, whatever you want to call it, and we needed him to be firmer in battles and play a little bigger this year in order to take a bigger role. And I think he's shown that in spurts in training camp. Tonight was a good game for him.
That play that he scored the goal, maybe a younger Dubé might have passed that, but maybe he's taking charge a little more.
Well, our mentality as a team is shoot first. So, he's been here with that mindset for a couple of years. So hopefully he's coming off a good year where he scored his best year goal-wise. So now if you get more opportunities, then he should get a few more goals.
Daryl, we've talked so much about those three new guys. Just in terms of their comfort, how significant is it that they all wind up on the score sheet tonight?
I think they were on it because of power play, right? Other than Mackenzie, I think Naz and Jonathan were power plays early together in the third period there. So I think 5 and 5, they got lots of work to do. It's not just about score sheet. If it's just about score sheet, then if we lost 6-5 tonight, them guys are on the sheet, which could have been the score. So then you'd say they got their point. Well, that don't work very good.
There's only 11 coaches in this league who've won 700 regular season games. Does that mean something to you?
Yep, means a lot. Means coached 4 good teams.
There you go. See, just briefly at the end, win number 700 in the coaching career of Daryl Sutter, at least in terms of regular season. And he'll also tell you that it does speak a little bit to the playoff record as well, and that is a separate category. But, pick up on the conversation. We'll hear from a couple guys in the locker room here coming up in just a moment, too. But, power play obviously clicks, but maybe just thought on what you heard there from Daryl and specific to number 29 here in Dylan Dubé.
Yeah, you and I have been watching him pretty closely over the past few weeks here at training camp. It's kind of the same old story with Dylan. Very few guys work harder than he does at practice, and even yesterday, just watching him, him and Andrew Mangiapane at the end of the practice, putting in the time, getting their shots dialed in. Kind of joked with him at one point that his shot was looking in mid-season form, and he just sort of barked back that, yeah, maybe in practice, but hey, sometimes it takes the games to prove it too. And it's good to see him get rewarded for this because he's put in the work to get here. He's getting a bit more of a premier opportunity at this point too, skating in a top 6 role. Some new line mates as well in Nazem Kadri to be able to find chemistry with, but we're seeing it early. We saw it in some of the preseason games, and to see it early in the season, because we know it was a bit of a slow start for him last year, that's key. He's a player that thrives on confidence, and to get the ball rolling early can only be good things for him moving forward.
Yeah, no question about it. And the offense spread kind of throughout the lineup here tonight. And as heard from there with Daryl, power play clicks, penalty kill, kind of all areas. And obviously we get another opportunity to see it in action here on the road. But we hear a couple of guys in the locker room there, guys. All right, let's join now Mackenzie Weegar, hear from him post-game in the Calgary Flames locker room.
That was great. It was electric in there. Exactly what I think we knew we were expecting. So that first period was awesome, and whole game is just it's nice to have that, all that excitement, and gives us some momentum.
What was the adrenaline like for you tonight?
Yeah, there was some nerves, good excitement, but I felt so in the moment, and these guys did a great job, keeping me calm, and we worked hard all week, and we were prepared, so it calms my nerves a little bit.
It's one thing to look at this game from the outside and say you get the win, it kind of contributes and feels good about it. What are your takeaways from this one?
Yeah, I think there's definitely some things to work on. Obviously, our PK came up big there in the second period, and then the power play in the third period. But I think 5-on-5, there's definitely some things to work on and improve on. It's a good team over there, and I think when it was 5-1, we kind of thought we were just going to take it over, and that was going to be the game. But we got to, never get satisfied and play hard the whole 60 minutes.
When you guys were at your best tonight, what were some of the things we saw that need to kind of be hallmarks of this team?
You know, second quick's in the D zone. I think, you know, we kill plays fast. Second guy gets in there, makes the next play quick, and then we get on the attack, and then we just hound pucks in the O zone, make quick plays, get pucks to the net.
Is it funny how things work? Obviously, debut for a bunch of you guys. You get on the score sheet, Jonathan gets on the score sheet.
Yeah, I mean,
and the win.
Yeah, I think the win's the most important part. I don't think Johnny and I care too much about the score sheet as long as we get the win. You know, I think all guys, the whole team battle tonight. I think Hanny and Andy did a great job with their top dogs, so they deserve a lot of credit. So it was a good game. You know, we're satisfied with the win, but there's still a lot of things to work on.
You mentioned the nerves. Did you feel right about, you know, the pairing and just that comfort level?
Yeah, I think Tanny's he's a warrior. He's really easy to play with. He's intense, but you know, I was actually pretty calm. I was actually, for a nervous guy at times, I just felt in the moment and just kind of had fun with the game. And I was, you know, it was a long off season, and we were just, I think Johnny and I and Naz, a couple of the guys were just, we wanted this game one to happen a lot sooner.
Wasn't the first time you sent in a defenseman for breakaway?
Yeah, that was definitely my first time. I looked up and I saw Andy there, and it's a shocker, but what a move by him, and a great finish by him.
Could you give your impressions of the Mangiapane-Kadri-Dubé connection? It seemed as if they looked really good tonight.
Yeah, they fast line, but they're hard on pucks. They're a strong line. They play on top of guys. They work hard in the D zone, and ultimately they get their chances in the offensive zone. But they deserve it because they play hard in the D zone.
Nice to pick up a win against the defending Cup champs on night one, I imagine.
Yeah, I think I saw a random stat that it's been a while since the Flames won a season opener. So I'm happy that we can get that off our backs and we can just carry on another 81 games here.
Was that stat a little alarming when you saw it?
I thought it was shocking, but I'm happy that we won.
Would you put Ras in the shootout?
Yeah, I mentioned it there at the end. First season opening win in 12 games for the Calgary Flames, but some of that locker room didn't care about that one bit because they haven't been there for any of that history, and a number of guys have only been here for a short time of that. Either way, it is in the past, and let's focus on the guy that we just heard from in Mackenzie Weegar, and the night that he had his Flames debut, and obviously we talked about a number of guys, but hear from him there, and some excitement, some nerves he talked about, but nice night for Weegar.
Well, like we said, I think he did everything you could possibly ask of a guy making his Flames debut. I mean, this highlight pack shows it perfectly. I mean, this is what we've come to know, at least based on, you know, the scouting reports and seeing him in Florida. He's got the wheels, the passing ability, springs Rasmus Andersson on the breakaway with an absolutely gorgeous feed. I mean, those are the things you'd come to, I don't want to say expect, but we kind of knew he was going to have some of that coming in. I think what surprised me a little bit tonight was the physicality. I mean, I think he was credited with 3 hits, but this isn't a guy who just rubs guys out. He hits to hurt guys a little bit and loves to finish them off and put them into the ice. And you know, obviously not sending messages. We're not talking about that, but you know, he's making life difficult on the opponent. He did it all night on a very talented Avalanche team. That's how you have to play them.
Yeah, no question about it. Let's go back inside the Calgary Flames locker room and now hear from another fellow defenseman in Rasmus Andersson.
That was nice to see the puck win.
The peek over the shoulder, was that to see Nas, or was that to see how much time you had?
A little bit of both, honestly, but then I kind of realized that, you know, I was on a clear-cut breakaway, so I probably shouldn't have passed that one.
All 3 newcomers get on the score sheet and a win. Just your impressions of Nas and Jonathan and Mackenzie?
Well, all 3 really good players, as we knew, and I think obviously it's nice for them to get that kind of, you know, the points or whatever, to kind of don't have to think about it as much. And, you know, now we go, and we still got to play a little bit better, especially 5-on-5, you know, towards, honestly, from maybe midway through the second to the third. I mean, our special team saved us today, and so yeah, we got to be better 5-on-5.
How do you feel about the job that, even though that game 1 gets that team and that assignment?
Yeah, you know, it's a tough assignment. As I said, I think in the second period they kind of started to go a little bit, and you know, they're all really skilled, and it's tough every time you're out against them. But I thought we did a good job today, and yeah, now we keep building.
Any chance you'll let Mangiapane know how to do it on a breakaway?
Yeah, no, he knows that move, and he skated up to me and said as if that worked here too. And but yeah, as I said, it was nice to see it go in, and I think I had 2 breakaways last year and I missed them both, so it was definitely nice to see it go in.
How do you guys kind of take this and build on it? Maybe it's too simple a question to say
Well, as I said, we got to get better. We got to get better 5-on-5 most, once our 5-on-5 it gets better, we have a good PP and a PK, and now we just build. And but our 5-5, we got to clean that up a little bit. I thought, as I said, after maybe midway through the second and the third, they were better than us 5-on-5, and but it was nice to get a win, and now we go.
When the game does get a little bit back and forth and loose, how do you, as a team, how can you prevent that or go back to it being a little more less north-south?
Well, it's just honestly, it's about the next shift. That's all you can control, and we talked about it. Just have a good next shift, and we'll take it from there. And but it's a momentum game, and they got momentum after the second one, and definitely after the third one. So we got to push back a little bit, and. But yeah, you just got to focus on your next shift and take it from there.
Guys, after all the talk about what's changed here over the summer, do you feel like this group showed kind of early on what you guys could be capable of at your best?
Yes and no. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like I keep repeating myself, but the 5-on-5 I thought honestly wasn't great half the game, and our first period was really good. We came out and. They get their first goal is kind of a lucky bounce. I try to poke check the puck and it hits the shin pad and I don't see where it ends up and it's behind me and they score. But even though they got the first one, I thought we responded well, and the first period we played really well, and then I don't know if we sat back a little bit after the second and third goal, and they got a little bit of momentum, and but yeah, it was nice to see the power play get 2 there, and our penalty kill was really good.
Daryl hit 700 regular season wins tonight. What are some of the things he does, or any trademarks of his that are different from any other coach you've had?
Well, he's a really good coach, obviously, but the thing with Daryl is he's honest with you, and if he can't handle the truth, it sucks for you, and but he's honest with you, and he'll tell you straight up, and that's the biggest difference I feel like with him and all the other coaches I've had.
I don't know.
All right, there's some thoughts post-game from Rasmus Andersson, and we'll pick up on we had the conversation in the second intermission about his goal, and both of them, him and Michael Backlund, were sitting in the penalty box, of course, serving a coincidental and the original holding penalty, and Rasmus Andersson said to me in the intermission that they talked about if he got out and got on a breakaway, what that move might look like, and ironically, he gets the breakaway, and it looks like this, and whatever the conversation was like, maybe a silent assist we'll give Michael Backlund, because he finished it off beautifully, and then after you can even see as he skates to lead the line across the bench, he gives a little wave back over to Bax to say, yeah, that's what we talked about right there. So good stuff from Rasmus Andersson and Michael Backlund, and nice finish there by Rasmus.
Yeah, great stuff actually, and hat tip to Flames PR as well, talking about the fact that because there were coincidental penalties on that play, the Flames actually had the choice of whether it was Andersson or Michael Backlund that was going to come out of the penalty box first. Talk about, I don't know, I was going to say high risk, high reward, maybe a little bit more credit to Rasmus Andersson's offensive abilities, but hey, it sure worked out, and yeah, that little wave back to the penalty box is pretty classic. That's for sure.
It was great, and partially you got McKinnon in there as well, so Backlund and McKinnon waiting in the penalty box for that next stoppage. Either way worked out in their favor. Calgary Flames pick up the 5-3 victory, and the season is off to a successful start, but far from over, as we know. Game 1 of 82 down and still 81 more to go. The next one being up in Edmonton on Saturday night. We know the tough test continues. Yeah. And, we've talked about it leading into this game. The defending Stanley Cup champions, obviously tough travel for them as they come in here in the wee hours of the morning. But, you got another good one on Saturday, too.
Yeah, you know what? I think this actually goes back to the Dylan Dubé conversation about building early confidence. I think especially for a team that, has had the amount of turnover, especially in the premier positions we're talking about, I think it's really important for this team to get off to a good start this year. You don't want to fall behind early and start fighting it and maybe having to answer some of the tougher questions that would come in a situation like that. So to start off with a win and, like you said, go in, and that's a bit of the Lions' den on Saturday as well, so that's going to be a tough match, but it's exactly what this team wants. It's exactly what they need as well. They said they want to go and face the adversity early so they know what they're made of.
Well said, and we'll turn our attention to the next home game for the Calgary Flames after that, and it'll be right back here at the Scotiabank Saddledome on Tuesday, October 18th, the start of an 8-game homestand for the Calgary Flames, a busy month of home action for the Calgary Flames on Scotiabank Saddledome ice. But a nice debut for the 3 new guys, all on the score sheet, and a nice open to the season for the Calgary Flames, picking up a 5-3 win over the visiting Colorado Avalanche. And they do so now on to the road. It's the Edmonton Oilers coming up on Saturday. Look forward to seeing you right back here at the Scotiabank Saddledome on Tuesday night to welcome Vegas.